You've done a lot of thoughtful work in this unit. You've learned what a financial power of attorney is, when it starts, who helps, what powers they have, and how to add safeguards. Today's lesson is about making sure all of that effort actually works when it's needed. A financial power of attorney isn't helpful if no one can find it, no one will accept it, or it's out of date. So this lesson is about execution, storage, and real-world use. By the end of this video, you'll understand what typically needs to happen for a financial power of attorney to be usable, how agents actually use it, and how people keep it current as life changes. Let's start with signing. This procedure is also called the execution phase in legal jargon. Signing requirements can vary by state. Some places require a notary, some require witnesses, some require both. The details can differ, but the big idea is consistent. The document needs to be properly signed and acknowledged, so institutions will take it seriously. You are the principal in this process, and you must sign this document while you are still competent. This is a vital point. You cannot grant authority to an agent once you have already lost the capacity to understand what you are signing. While specific rules vary by state, a common best practice for execution usually involves signing your document in the presence of a notary public and 2 disinterested witnesses. These witnesses should be adults who aren't your agent and aren't disqualified under your state laws for being an interested party. Even if your state only requires a notary, having witnesses is a powerful extra layer of protection. It creates a ceremony of validity that makes it much harder for anyone to claim later that you were pressured or didn't know what you were doing. Once the document is signed and the ink is dry, we move to the problem of the disappearing document. A power of attorney is useless if it's locked in a home safe that no one can open, or in a safe deposit box that requires the very document locked inside to gain access. This creates a catch-22 during a crisis. So what can you do? One option is to keep the original in a secure, fireproof, but accessible place and give copies to your agent and backup. You should also make a note of where the original is stored, so no one has to guess. Now let's talk about how an agent actually uses a financial power of attorney. In practice, the agent presents the document to a bank, insurance company, or other institution. That institution reviews it. They may copy it. They may ask questions. They may add it to their system. Sometimes this goes smoothly. Sometimes it takes follow-up. You should be aware that some financial institutions are notoriously hesitant to accept outside power of attorney forms. They might worry about the document's age or whether it has been revoked. Some may even insist that you sign their specific internal forms. To save your family from a headache during a crisis, one proactive step some people take is asking their primary bank if they have their own preferred power of attorney form. Just be certain to note any forms you have completed so you can update them if circumstances change. Now let's talk about changes. Life moves fast. You might get divorced, move to a new state with different laws, or find that the person you chose as your agent is no longer the right fit, which is why revocation is part of this conversation. If you ever decide that a power of attorney no longer reflects your wishes, it can be revoked and replaced. You can do this by creating a new one that explicitly cancels the old one, or by signing a formal notice of revocation. What matters most is making sure the old one isn't accidentally relied on. That's why people often notify agents, collect copies, and update institutions when changes are made. After watching this video, as with all other videos in this series, it is important to remember that this lesson is educational only. And because laws and policies vary by state and institution, it's always wise to confirm specifics with a qualified professional before taking action. Through this lesson, you have gained understanding that a financial power of attorney is only as effective as its execution, storage, and accessibility. And you've learned real-world use involves institutions, paperwork, and follow-up. And that keeping things current is part of good planning. If you want to take a small step right now, write down where you would store your financial power of attorney so it's secure but accessible. Even if the document isn't created yet, deciding on the location builds readiness. Complete the questions below this video, and then let's head to the next lesson.